Hey YouTubers and fellow toy train lovers. I know I've been remiss. I don't believe I've done an upload to YouTube for a month now. And I've had a lot of other projects to do around the house. Remodeling the bathroom for one thing, which is always fun. And that was sarcasm. It's not fun. At least I don't think it's fun. I hate plumbing. And I had this pair of 209s now for going on a year, probably 9 or 10 months. And I overhauled them, rebuilt them, and especially had to rebuild the front aprons. And they were both broken, and one of them was in pieces. And I really love Gorilla Glue. It really does a terrific job. I've got them back together now. Knock on wood, I've never broken an apron on even on the Alcos I had as a little kid. My dad used to warn me about them, and I was very careful with them. But it's really easy to break them. Basically, car comes uncoupled, and the engines go racing around, and they hit the caboose, and you've got a broken apron. So that's why I have a master control on my transformers to shut everything down. If I hear something wrong, the doorbell rings, somebody calls, I shut down the layout and take care of business, and then I come back and start over. Now, if you're wondering what all that annoying noise is, it's my Lionel newsstand. And my Lionel Frosty stand. Bernie sitting out front. Papa Smurf watching the cone. So anyway, what I really wanted to do was find the matching caboose for these. And I knew I'd seen a matching caboose for them, and yet I could not find them on eBay. I could not find them anywhere. And it turns out there is a matching caboose. There are cabooses available for these, but I don't really like them. They don't really seem to match. And believe it or not, Marx made it. So we'll move this train up. And here's my little New Haven Marx caboose. Took me probably 8 months of searching. I finally found it on eBay. And Marx apparently made a limited edition of these. I don't believe they sold them separately. They only sold them with their F units sets. And half the F unit sets I've seen just have a plain reddish brown Caboose with New Haven written on it. And I think this one's really sharp. So I put the old Lionel coupler on top of the Marx coupler. Use some, not Gorilla Glue, because I want to be able to take it off. Don't want to ruin its value as a Marx item. I used silicone sealer, so I'll be able to peel that off if I ever wish to. I doubt if I will. And something I don't know if I've shown you before. Here is a Marx Frisco Box Car, pardon me, a Lionel Frisco Box Car. They've got it dated 57, but I have a sneaky suspicion they made it in the 60s. And just left the original, used the original stamp. Because I've also got the red and white Friscos. And they are definitely older because they've got the heavier shells and the heavier trucks. But this is about a $20 item. This, on the other hand, is a, I should have mentioned these are the double door box cars are molded into the shell. So they call them plug door box cars. And they're 8 inches long, not counting the couplers. So they take up very little room on a small layout like mine. And I was at a train show in Gridley, California, which is 30 miles from here. And I didn't expect that there'd be so many people, but they were a lot. And it was primarily O-scale. But it was mostly new. And I was looking for older stuff. And this guy had this old cardboard box out in front of his, underneath the front of his bench, table, display table. And he had all his new Mike's Train House and Lionel's, or newer ones up there. And he was pushing those, and I said, "You mind if I look through your box?" He said, "Oh yeah, go ahead. Whatever you find is $20 each." So I found this Wix shell only, and I knew they were valuable. I had no idea how valuable they were, and it turned out it's a $200 box car, and I had the frame already at home. I've got one of the original metal frames underneath this. As we went into MPC, they started putting a lighter plastic frame, and I don't believe the MPC wheels work as well, because the wheels are stationary on the axles, so they won't round the curve as well. And these will free spin on an axle. These old pre-war ones, pardon me, post-war. And so anyway, here was my big find. And so you look at these at a train show, you may think, oh, these are worthless, they're plug door box cars. Well, the reason this is so unusual is it only came in with a Lionel set. And I don't know what the name of the set was, whether it was advertising, the set was advertising wicks, air and oil filters. I believe they're for cars or what. But that's where we came up. That's how it was made, and that's why it's so valuable. Now you'll also see this is a K-line switcher. I was originally going to take the shell and put it on a Marx drivetrain. And I've decided this runs so well to leave it alone. And the reason that I was going to put it on the Marx drivetrain is this is a Marx mold. All these smaller K-line switchers were Marx molds. The only difference on the shell itself is the little bell up on top, as far as the construction. And let me hit the right one. And here is a ShopRite. Once again, plug door box car. And this is one I found at a show and paid $25 for it, and it is an $80 car. So look for those deals when you go to a show. See if I can get a closer. Yeah, I can get a little better shot. That's an outstanding. That's really an attention getter. I like the wicks. So, anyway, yesterday was the end of daylight savings time. And so I thought, well, I have an old daylight train. And this is my favorite postcard. I also collect postcards. And this is linen. And keep this up over the desk. It's never been written on. And it says Southern Pacific Coastline. From Los Angeles to San Francisco, California. And as you can see, it's never been used. And gives information on the train. But when Marx Ameritrains came out, they did some unusual things. And unfortunately, my camera tends to make orange look like yellow. So this is really an orange cowling along here. And this is Marx Ameritrains made in about 1997. Because it's got a DC motor, they did not bother to put a reverse in it. So I'm using my hand to reverse it. And because it's a Marx, you're going to have less wheels. A lot less wheels than a GS3 or GS4. But it's still quite a impressive looking little train. And once again, perfect for somebody with a small layout like myself. Let's just run it by. So, goodbye to daylight savings time. Listen to how quiet that is. So let's get them all running. I think I could speed that New Haven up a bit. There we go. Really sharp looking cars. Or Alcas, I should say. Now the New Haven Alco does have a horn, and it is not working, and I'm not going to bother to overhaul it and get it to work because it sounds like a duck with a cold. K-line is running quite nicely. It has two can motors in the trucks, and it's one of the earliest K-lines made. There, I thought she should be coming around the corner. Now the dog's pushing his nose against my leg because it's 4 o'clock. Standard time. And he thinks it should be 5 o'clock. Thinks it's time for his dinner. So in the next day or two, I'll be getting out a lot of my old tinplate military sets for Veterans Day. I guess my next project is to fix that darn crossing shed. And see why the guy isn't coming out anymore to wave his lantern. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. I want to thank all my subscribers for subscribing to me. Putting up with my crude camera work and production. Okay, bye-bye.